After sending Katie and Leslie to join Tex inside the LaBianca home, Charlie got back into the driver's seat. Clem jumped in the back seat with Sadie, and I pushed over on the passenger side. We drove about in a predominantly colored area. I don't know the area, but this is what I gathered. He told me to take the change out of the wallet and to wipe off the fingerprints, to throw it out on the sidewalk. I believe I put it in the glove compartment. He said he wanted a black person to pick it up and use the credit card so that the people, the establishment, would think it was some sort of an organized group that killed these people. Charlie told her to put it into the bathroom in the gas station and leave it there, hoping that somebody would find it and use their credit cards, and thus be identified with the murder, and then we left. Actually, the station was in Sylmar, in San Fernando Valley. In nobody's estimation was this a black neighborhood, but Manson planned to leave the wallet there so some patsy would palm it, use the credit cards, and then be implicated in the murders. Or he panicked about having evidence in his possession. We drove around for a long time and went back to sleep. It was like I was drugged. I felt very heavily drugged. I was not on drugs at the time. I just felt like that I had been shot with morphine or something, or fell asleep. I got in the car with Sadie, Clem, and Linda saying, "Okay, it's our turn. Who's got someone on their shit list?" Linda spoke up. "There's this dude over in Venice thinks he's the world's greatest stud." We all got out of the car. Charlie told Clem and Sadie to stay a little bit behind us, and Charlie and I started walking hand in hand on the beach. I told him I was pregnant. A police car came by and stopped and asked what we were doing, and Charlie said, "We were just going for a walk." Then he looked at me and he said, "What about that man you and Sandy met?" He said, "Isn't he a piggy?" I said, "Yes, he is an actor." And then he asked me if the man would let me in. And I said yes. And he said, "Okay, I want you to kill him." And he gave me a small pocket knife. I said, "Charlie, I am not you. I cannot kill anybody." I was very much afraid. I remember I had the knife in my hand and I asked him, "With this?" And he said yes. And he showed me how to do it. He said, "As soon as you enter the residence, the house, as soon as you see the man, slit his throat right away." And he told Clem to shoot him. When we got to Venice in the apartment house Linda directed us to, I had come off the acid and wasn't feeling all that confident we were invincible. Charlie wanted me to show him where he lived. We entered the building and we walked up the stairs. I pointed out a door which was not his door. Then we walked back downstairs to the car and he gave Clem a gun. At this point he said, "If anything went wrong, don't do it." And of course to hitchhike back to the ranch and for Sadie to go to the waterfall. With this directive, Charlie left the trio to carry out his orders. Again, he had no intention of killing anyone, but insisted that his followers do so. I sat in the car for a few minutes trying to picture what had happened on Waverly Drive and imagining what was going on in the apartment here in Venice. I realized I was just sitting there waiting for the police to come, and if they showed up, I was on my way back to the joint. I started the car, drove to Santa Monica, stopped for some breakfast, then went back to the ranch. Clem, Sadie, and myself walked up. I believe I took them to the 4th floor. I went straight to the first door and I knocked. They hid behind the corner. I knocked on the door, which I knew wasn't the door, and a man said, "Who is it?" And I said, "Linda." And he sort of opened the door and peeked around the corner, and I just said, "Oh, excuse me, wrong door." The only thing to do was to thwart the plan and knock on the wrong door. I just wasn't going to kill somebody. If Charlie wanted to kill me, then he would kill me. But I wasn't going to do this.